Hey guys, in today's video I am preparing the cloud mix in front of you in real time. A lot of people have told me that they're struggling with the cloud mix, so I'm going to try and give you as much information as I can think of today. So most importantly, the recipe. You need the DecoArt satin enamels and another brand of white paint. I use the Artist Loft Flow Acrylic. I'm suggesting this brand. If you don't have it, maybe use a cheap brand of white paint that's thick like this one. So in a tube, maybe like Amsterdam or maybe Liquitex Basics, something like that. Something that's thick. If you don't have this one, as long as you have this, I think it could work. But the original recipe is really these two here. So what I'm gonna do is I eyeball it, okay? So half of each. Now, when you're preparing Artist Loft on its own, you have to think about the amount of water that's gonna be in your cup, because it takes a lot of water to get the right consistency. But with this one here, it doesn't take a lot of water. So we can go in and put a lot. There. I'm gonna go with that. I also want to have space to be able to mix it properly. So that is my first 50% approximate. Now, I bought the bottle that has this thing on top, but I don't like it. Okay, so just like screw that for now. Here we go. So I have some up till there. So what I do is I pre-eyeball it in my head. So I'm gonna go up to there, since the bottom part is smaller and then it gets bigger. So let's say there. And then I look at where I had put my finger. There we go. That's it. Done. So if there's a little bit more, it's still gonna work, you guys. What you need to know is that this is the powerful one. So the more there is of this one, the more it will take over your whole painting, and that's not what we want. Okay, so these two are down. Now, when you're mixing colors together, you mix and you see the transformation. You see the new color that's appearing. But when you're mixing white with white, you can't see anything. So basically, I just mix it for a long time. The goal is to make sure that these two are mixed well together. So now let's talk about pouring medium. I do not believe that the pouring medium is absolutely necessary for this. I think that you can just put water and it's gonna work. Why do I say this? Because I only put a little small amount of pouring medium. And pouring medium helps with fluidity. Now, if you like to use Floetrol, the amount of Liquitex pouring medium that I put in there, I think that if you were using Floetrol, it wouldn't change anything. Because it's just so small of an amount. The only thing I'm going to ask you, I'm going to beg you, please people, don't put glue. Please just don't put glue in this mix, okay? Just don't put anything. If you want to put glue, just don't put anything and just put water. Okay, so there we go. Now the amount here doesn't really matter. This is always how I prepare my paint. There. That's it. How much was that? I don't know. A tablespoon maybe? Doesn't matter. It's just gonna make it, it's gonna help it become a little bit more fluid, but not so much. That's the thing. Like, if you're using Liquitex or like real pouring medium, then you don't need to put a lot. You can just get the right consistency with water afterwards, instead of putting like half Floetrol, half water, and then you lose your color. It seems that people who use a lot of Floetrol in their colors, then like the colors, they lose. It's not pretty in the end. It doesn't dry well. Anyways, not important. Now water. Now the question is, how much water? Well, I go gradually, and the goal is to have a good pouring consistency. I don't want it too thin. Now, if you guys have been following me for a while, you know that when I used to do puddle pours, the way I would get cells would be by making my paints really thin. But I would make all my paints equally thin throughout the whole painting. But for the cloud mix, like when you're doing tree rings, you don't want the paint to be too thin, because or else they mix all up and become muddy in the cup. So I just go gradually. And what's fun about the cloud mix that I like is, like, I'm gonna cover it up with a plastic wrap afterwards, and it lasts really long. Like, I don't even have to add water. Let's say I'm gonna go use some of it in a week. Well, it's still good. It needs more. Now, right now, I'm up to here. So I don't think that there's a way to really say like the consistency, warm honey, or when it drizzles off, because yes, you can say that for certain brands of paint, but there's some brands of paint that even though you go like that, it drizzles, but it doesn't mean that it's the right consistency, you know? Like if you would use that technique saying, oh, it's drizzling, well, it's still way too thick. I can see it in there. So it takes practice, you guys. It's normal. You have to try it on your own. You can't just watch a video and say, okay, I'm going to do it and it's going to work right away. It's going to take a few times. As long as all of the paints in your painting are the same consistency. Okay? That's what you want, because it helps the paint flow better. Now I am up to here. And I'm good. Okay. I can see that that's good. But, I mean, can I really show you? Yeah, here we go. I'm not sure how to explain this, but this is what it looks like. So while I'm mixing these, I'm gonna continue on with the paint brands that you can use. Now, these are the paint brands that I've tried for the cloud pour. The Liquitex Basics is the best one. It's better than Amsterdam, it's better than Arteza, it's better than DecoArt, and of course it's better than this crapo. Sorry. But yeah. But I'm not saying that the Liquitex Basics is a better quality paint in general than all of these. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the way it's made, its ingredients work well with this mix here for the final result. They all react differently. And those crisp lines come from the Liquitex. The other paints, like the Cloud Mix, takes over the Amsterdam, like so much. It looks gritty, kind of. I've heard a lot of people tell me that they've had grittiness in their cloud pours. Try and think of the brand of paint you used with it. Okay, no, I'm done. I was gonna add more water, but no, I was gonna add more water. I was. So last one here, and I'm not gonna like mix this and continue on blabbing away. So I have paint up to here, and that's it. That's how I prepare the cloud mix, you guys. So I hope this helped, and I'm going to decide on the colors for this painting, and I'm going to be doing it on a round. And yep, I'll see you back in a few. So I'm back, and this is 2 days later. I've got 3 colors by Liquitex. These are the only ones I had left yellow, orange, and red. So that's going to be the combo for today, and I've never tried it, so yay. And I just want to say one thing before I start. One brand that I didn't mention that I had tried out was Golden Fluid, and that's because Golden Fluid does not work with this cloud mix recipe. Trust me, I have tried. If you want to work with Golden Fluid and the cloud effect, I'm going to link the video up there for you. I did manage to find a recipe that worked after a lot of experimentation. Okay, so firstly, the cup. You want to have two colors in first, your two main colors, because those are the colors that are going to be on top of your cloud and the most dominant ones. So which two main colors do you want to appear? Only a little bit of each, and then a little bit of the cloud mix, but not a lot. That's enough. Same thing, two dominant colors that you want. Not a lot. And then the cloud mix, just a little bit. That's it. And now you don't need any more of this. You don't want any more, or else it's going to take over. The rest of the paint that we're going to put in there is going to be for the pillow. So the underneath part of the cloud, that's going to help us move it around and stretch it out. So I want yellow. So the amount here doesn't matter. We're just going to put a lot. See, normally it goes on top, but that cloud mix came back up there. Doesn't matter. There, that is enough paint for sure. So I'm going to straight pour first. And then when I see the white coming through, you can see it coming, there it is. Then I start turning. And what you see there is the cloud. And you don't want to go too far. This is perfect. Now, like this part here, the middle part there is going to be my cloud, and the rest underneath is going to help me stretch it. So slowly. The round goes so well for this, you guys. I recently just discovered this, and oh my gosh, I can't wait for the stores to open so I can go buy more. Just to be clear, at the beginning of the video, I called these paints really cheap, like the Liquitex and the Amsterdam, but what I meant by that is that they're very thick. So they're sort of cheap for fluid painting, but they're not cheap for hand painting, like, not hand, but with a brush, when you don't need to dilute them. What's best actually for fluid painting is ready to pour paints, and that's why it got so popular that a lot of companies have started coming out with ready to pour paints. Because the more water you're going to add into your paint, the less the pigment is going to be intense there, you know? Okay, so when we get to this point here, you have options. Either you stop, because like it's so pretty, or what I usually do is, you see like in there, I could continue stretching that out, and that is going to make like that. That's what I usually do. but I'm really loving that intense yellow down there. So I think I'm not going to stretch it out too much. I think I'm just gonna stop there, you guys, instead of stretching it out a lot like usual. It's so cool. It's very fiery. Okay, I'm gonna go wash my hands and bring you up closer here. And here we have it, the best cloud pour recipe. It's perfect. And you know, not because the paints are cheaper and like that you put so much water in them that it's not gonna work. It's always a question of ingredients with fluid art. It's crazy. Like the best quality paints, which are golden fluid, don't even work with this. And check that out. And what I love the most about the Liquitex, how they react, is that there's no grittiness at all. Look at that. That center. That center. Looks like the sun in heaven. It's fascinating. And I'm still on my kitchen table, you guys. I've been here for like, what, 2 months now? And I still have 2 more months. I'm in between art rooms for you guys that are new subs. And by the way, my friend convinced me to start a patrons page. So if you would like to support me and become a patron, the link is in the description. And it's a bit exciting. I'm kind of happy to start that new sort of little community. I can't wait to do giveaways and yep. It took me a lot of time. I'm in 4 years now, but I finally did it. Stay tuned for the dried result. Back with the, I'll say 95% dried painting on my Lole Vefe silicone mat. You guys should check those out. They're awesome. I have a huge one for my table and a smaller one. So that part here is the red is not 100% dry, but the rest is. And this is what I meant by crisp lines. Because of the reaction of the satin enamels, normally with other brands, you don't get crisp lines like that. Now, I haven't tried every brand on the planet, you guys. You know, I try what I can get my hands on. And in Canada, it's not like in the US. There's a couple of brands of paints that I can't get my hands on. But I work with what I have, and I find that this is awesome and it works. So I hope this video helped you guys out. Have a good one.